This video takes place in Simbi, a village in Rwanda, Africa. The woman in the bluish-gray shirt works for an organization called World Vision. They provide clean drinking water to villages all across Africa. In the book, A Long Walk to Water, you learn about a young girl named Naya from South Sudan. In this video, you'll see a young girl from Rwanda named Adelphine. She's the one wearing bright orange and has a ball in her hands. Both girls live in Africa, and both girls do not have access to water in their homes the way we do in the United States. Naya has to walk all day, twice a day, to retrieve dirty, contaminated water that can make her family very sick and potentially even kill them. 6 kilometers, or about 3.7 miles, is the average distance round trip women and children in Africa must walk for water. They take this walk to polluted water, barefoot or in rubber sandals. On average, a person needs at least 15 liters, which is only about 2 to 4 gallons of water per day for drinking, washing, and cooking. This small amount of water still causes women and girls in Africa to make multiple trips to the water source each day. Adelphine in this video used to have to walk a long distance to a swampland to get her water. However, since World Vision came to her village of Simbi to assist, she now has access to clean water. Adelphine only has to walk about 15 minutes to a spring for her water. There's an even closer water source to her that you'll see later on in the video. However, that source was under construction at the time of this video. Once we get to the main road at the bottom of this hill, you'll see a white van. This van belongs to the organization World Vision. No one in the village would have access to a car. Everyone in the village walks, and very few people would have a bicycle. You'll also notice 2 motorcycles in the video. These are from different villages, not Adelphine's. When Naya walks for water, she carries a very large yellow jerry can. The trip to the water is tough, but the walk home is even more difficult. On the way home, Naya has to carry a 20-liter jerry can of water weighing about 44 pounds. Carrying that much weight can have long-term negative health effects on women and children. Back and neck pain are very common since the women and children carrying the water put it on top of their heads or strap it to their backs. You'll notice everyone in this video is carrying a very small yellow jerry can. The reason we have such small cans is because it's a large group, we're all going together, it's only a 15-minute walk, and they were trying to be very nice to us since they knew we were coming to visit them, bring them presents, and do the water walk with them. You'll also notice in the video a lot of agriculture. Farming is the main way of living in Rwanda. Almost all of the land in Rwanda is used for farming. However, there's not enough land to meet the farming needs of the population. The people of Rwanda attempt to cultivate land that's not suitable for farming. While trying to support their family, many farmers attempt to grow more than one crop on a small area of land in short cycles. The population pressure on the land is a major problem in Rwanda. Scarcity of land and land resources, along with the rapidly growing population, brings about many issues for the people of Rwanda. The little girl in the video in the dress is Adelphine's little sister. There's also a villager that has come to join in the fun because the girls have a soccer ball. Then we're walking with Adelphine's mom and her aunt. Much of the family all lives in the same house. There can be anywhere to 8 to 12 family members living in basically a 2-room home. The 2 rooms meaning the main living room and an area they cook in, and then that main living room turns into their bed for the night. In the video, you'll notice a few chickens. In some villages, families will be able to have chickens, goats, and in some cases, even a cow. None of these animals are actually used for meat. The chickens are used to produce eggs, and the goats and cows for milk. You'll notice some very nice housing structures. The bricks of the house are made out of clay. However, many of the other homes in Africa use cow dung to form the outside of the homes. These homes have tile roofs, while other homes have tin shingles that go on top of the roof. In the video, you'll notice how happy Delphine is to have her new ball. The children of Rwanda don't have the same toys the children in the United States have. If they want a soccer ball, they'd have to make it themselves. They'd collect various plants and grass and ball them up together to make it solid, and then take plant fibers and wrap it around the ball to try and make it sturdy. When we came to visit these children in Rwanda, we also brought them balls, toys, stickers, puzzles. These are all things that they're not used to seeing in Africa. Our World Vision leader here also brought bubbles for the walk, for the children to play with. This is another luxury for the children of Africa. They would not normally have access to something as simple as bubbles. Some of the children may have never even seen the bubbles before and wouldn't even know how they work. While we were there, we also brought with a Polaroid camera. That's a camera that you can take a picture with, and the image comes right out of the camera, so that we could leave some of our pictures with them. Many of them have not seen cell phones that you can take pictures on, videos, and see those kind of images. I also looked ridiculous in this to everybody else because I have a GoPro video camera attached to my head. So I already stood out as a foreigner to begin with, but here I take out my cell phone, which many of them have not seen, while I have a GoPro attached to my head. When we eventually reach the water source, you'll notice all the other people retrieving water. In the novel A Long Walk to Water, Naya does not get to go to school because her job is to provide the water for her family. This is the same for many children in Africa. When organizations like World Vision step in to help these villages, children are then able to attend school, receive an education, and maybe even go to college, trade school, or their own business. Down this next hill, you'll see the water source that I mentioned earlier in the video. This would be the distance that a Delphine or her family would normally walk to get their fresh water. However, this source is currently under construction, so we continue our walk to the fresh spring. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to speed it up so that you can see what the final water source looks like. This is where we reach our water source. You'll notice that everybody patiently waits and takes turns to fill up their water. You'll also notice that there are many young children filling up their jerry cans. Some of the jerry cans are weighing anywhere between 22 and 44 pounds. Most of the kids swing the cans right up onto their heads and then carry them back up and down steep hills, over rocks, tough terrain, dirt, to bring them back to their houses. You'll also notice some of the kids giving me quite a silly look because of the camera that is on my forehead, videotaping this experience. After we all fill up our water, we continue our walk about 15 minutes back to the homes.